So, episode 8, 9?
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it's been 2 months flat actually since the first one, I think. So, we'll be real quick. It's a little bit later in the day, so we both got things to do. What does the future of the mortgage industry look like now? Do you think it's going to get easier in this country? And I'm not necessarily talking about rates, just in general.
Yeah, I think so. I think AI, artificial intelligence, has to be acknowledged. That's going to eliminate a lot of things that if you are not, you're going to be out of business, bottom line.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, especially for like automation purposes. AI is going to be
I
so
mean, most
good.
of what we do is AI, right? If we could get enough algorithm in and have AI do 90% of what we do, I mean, what's the human touch is all about?
No, exactly. And I think it'll probably end up making our life a little bit more easier.
Oh, yeah,
down the line.
absolutely.
So, what do you think the housing market's going to look like in 2 years?
We're going to take a dip, and then I think that what will end up happening is we will end up seeing real estate's always going to go up, no matter how much we sit there and say, hey, overall, I mean, value is going to go up and down, market's going to correct itself, and then rates are going to go up, just supply and demand. But old theory is there's no new land being invented. There's more people being born than dying. So no matter what, you're going to run out of space.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously that's going to appreciate the value because there's only so much that we could fit.
Right, that's the whole point. Cost of living goes up, value goes up. I mean, when I was a kid, a house in the neighborhood I was growing up went for like 60,000, 45, 50, 60,000. Those houses are selling for 250, 300.
Yeah, some are 4. I mean, also inflation plays a role too.
Not inflation, but more of supply and demand.
Yeah, true.
Supply
and demand. And it's crazy whenever you talk to a little bit of an older person and they talk about like the crazy interest rates. Like when Jimmy Carter was in office, but I mean, I'd kill for those rates for that price of a home back then. Not gonna lie, at least just in my perspective.
Jimmy Carter, what was the rates back then?
Oh God, 13%.
Okay,
it was crazy.
Rates were at 19% at the end of that whole war. I think when the rates went down.
In 08?
No, 08 rates were like 4-ish. 4%-ish. At one point, one day for like 2-3 hours, rate got down to as low as 2.99 on a 30-year fix.
You talking about during the pandemic?
No,
lower during the pandemic, I thought.
Not pandemic. I don't know the exact time, but I've seen it one time in my lifetime where a 30-year rate got to 1.99, not a 15, 30-year.
Goodness, could you imagine getting a one? Oh man, I get chills just thinking about that. I'm hoping someday, it'll
I don't think it should go down that low.
No, yeah, I was gonna say
I don't
not
think that
low.
it should even go past 4%.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's like we don't discuss interest rates typically, but like, it's not terrible right now.
No,
I don't think it's that bad.
It could be better, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you take what you can get, especially like in this day and age. Like you just kind of take what you can get with these rates. So when you look back over the last 20 years, do you think that the housing industry will kind of follow the same trend, where you say it'll dip, and then it'll go up, and dip go up?
Dip go up.
You think
well, not dip like it'll slow down. Yeah, dip go up. Go up. It will always increase.
Okay, so same path. Tell me why you specifically think what you think, just like a general encompassing view of everything.
There's a pattern of it, I mean, you're always going to have real estate do a pattern. It's every so often you have a reset. Every so often the demand becomes so high that it becomes ridiculously expensive for one to buy a house, and then it'll reset itself. It'll lower it a little bit, and it'll go up. Sure. Interest rates. History repeats itself.
Yes, exactly. So this will be the last question. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, and I actually wasn't even going to include this until just kind of recently reading about the default that we might go through. Now, there's been a lot of fear-mongering in the past, like about defaults, and I remember when Obama was president in 2011, we were 3 days within a default, and that had bad ramifications for our economy to begin with. Do you think if we default for the first time in U.S. history, that's going to be really bad for the mortgage industry?
No, I think it'll be bad it would be bad for a lot of government services.
Oh yeah, furloughed employers.
Right.
Yeah.
Where it will take a lot longer to get things done because HUD is a government entity, and most of primary mortgages are sponsored through HUD. I mean FHFA, which means that you can't get loans insured, bought. You won't see the trickle down effect right away until in 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And then when we are trying to get HUD to insure and sell it off in the hedge, in the long run, yes,
Yeah.
it will affect.
You think it will? Yeah. Oh man, it's so crazy.
It has happened before. Government shutdown before.
Not government shutdown, the default. We've shut down plenty of times. Yeah, it's just the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, it's dealing with money, yeah.
No, you think it could get bad down the line? I think they'll raise it.
I think that every time we get to the limit, we move it, then we can only borrow from the future so much.
Right? Exactly. These other countries need us. Like, they're always going to need us. We'll raise the debt ceiling, I think, but we're 27 days away at the moment.
I mean, they will sit down and get it corrected. But I think that we do have a bigger problem that we keep raising the debt limit, but we don't address the issue.
Certain cuts to certain programs.
But things got to be adjusted, and we're not adjusting it. We just, it just one party blames the other party and just keeps. We got to stop.
Right, and it's just affecting average Americans who are just
down the road. Yeah, we don't realize it now.
Right.
That's the problem. We're borrowing from the future. It's like, okay, keep borrowing credit card debts, credit card debts. Eventually, it will catch up to you.
Yeah, they kick it down the road. So you hear the phone ringing. I know you're a busy man, so that'll be all for today.
Awesome.
We'll get a longer episode next time. Take care.